welcome to another video. So today I am taking these and turning them into these. Same design on both hands, still using hard gel. So let me show you how. If you're new here, welcome. Do consider subscribing, take a seat and tell me what you're having in your cup for a drink. I actually have a Pepsi Max. Ooh, and not a cup of tea. So as you remember, these were long stilettos. I chopped them off because I coloured my hair. And I coloured it like a dark red, and I knew that my nails would poke through the gloves. These ones held out beautifully. The stickers that I used from Glitter Planet, fantastic, under the MadamGlam top coat. I'm going to remove everything with this bit. This is from Glitter Planet. It is the 4x coarse bit. It's a smooth top. I've had this donkey's years, and look at the teeth on it. Still perfect, still amazing. The smooth top means you can get really, really close to the cuticle and the sidewalls. So let me show you how good this is. I've debulked this hand. I'm going to use it with my non-dominant hand. I know, brave, right? And just watch it tear through this. It's on 35,000 RPM or 35 RPM, whatever it is. Different ones, different sort of display for different machines. I'm using my Melody Susie e-file. And look at that. That's through top coat. That's through the sticker. And then that's through the gel polish underneath. Bosh, done. Perfect. So I would thoroughly recommend that bit. Like I said, I've had it years. I have never had to replace it. It is so, so good. I will see if I can find a product link for it and put it in the description box. If not, I will put a link to Glitter Planet's website anyway, and my 10% discount code. But yeah, I will see if I can find a product link if I remember when I'm doing the write-up. I'm so forgetful. How have you all been? I think we are gliding into sort of some autumn nails, pending Christmas nails maybe. When's too soon? I still keep asking, but I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. I'm doing this one in real time. So this is me using my non-dominant hand. I'm very careful, obviously. I have had too many accidents, come a cropper too many times to take my chances. And I will be changing the shape. Can you believe I'm going to have two nails the same? And they're relatively simple. I would say this is a salon design. You know, quite simple, nice and autumnal. Watch this. Meow. There you go. Meow. Brilliant, isn't it? It's like a hot knife through butter. I've sped it up. And I just wanted you to show, oh God, I can't even talk. I wanted to show you the process of doing said nails. And then what I'll do is, I don't know if everyone does it the same way or if this is just my method, but I tend to remove the bulk and then I get on with my nail prep. Some people may push their cuticles back, do all that and then remove the bulk. I don't. I do it this way. Don't know why, couldn't tell you. It just works for me, and I've tried to change it and that does not work for me. Like, I can't. My brain is stuck in a pattern and it cannot be shifted. It's impossible. So I just do the same thing every single time. And then once I've like debulked everything, then I start my cuticle work. I like to get rid of the bulk and the design and see what I'm working with and make a mental plan from there. I don't know if that makes sense. I'd love to know if anyone else does it the same way. But as you can see, this it's not taking very long. Like, this is making light work of it. Obviously, I'm using my non-dominant hand. I've sped the footage up a little bit because I'm a lot slower with my non-dominant hand. But it's really strange, actually. I'm looking at my nails today and I've got a matching set. Ever so peculiar. I feel sophisticated, darling. Sophisticated. Right, so I've debulked and now I'm going to start pushing my cuticles back. I appreciate that on my left hand there's not really much regrowth, but once I pushed those cuticles back and tucked them right under my earlobes, I did reveal a little bit more than I thought. So there was a bit of nail plate to play with, look. These ones were due an infill, and after I'd pushed back the cuticles, I inspected them. Now, remember, I was honest with you guys, I had a lot of lifting due to my own, crap application. I was rushing, using my left hand, etc. I'm actually quite impressed, look. There's a little tiny bit here and there, but nothing major. So, oh, someone going past very fast on a motorbike. I'm just going to snip the ends off of all of these. Just, get a rough guide, put it roughly where it should be, and I'll do the rest by filing. I'm actually, and I know for my long nail girlies, because I'm a fan of like long and crazy, but I'm actually enjoying short nails. These are the files I use. They're 180/100s, and I pay £3.99 for 10 of them, and they last. Like, I'm only doing my nails, the nails on my practice hand and a couple of family members, and that's it. These files last. I've been using them for years and years. If you go back on my videos, like occasionally I've used more expensive ones, but I've just thought I don't want to pay that much. Sorry, I don't. I'm not being rude. Business is businesses. And then this whole set with the man-drawn 180 grit sanding bands, I pay £6.99 for. I'll put the link in the description box. I've just put it in a list of Amazon things that I use. All about supporting fellow brands and businesses and things like that. But for my salon basics, I will try and save money where I can, because they are the things that you use the most of, right? They are the highest turnaround of product. I won't skimp on like buying, I don't know, a really nasty cheap eBay acrylic or something. I mean, God, I bought one of those kits when I first started. It was like trying to work with melted plastic. Anyway, so I'm using the files. Make sure you take the edges off. You saw me dull down the edges. Otherwise, you will literally cut yourself open. They are sharp. And I'm just going to start refining the shape that I want. It seems like we just want a square nail. That's quite simple. Is it? I don't think it is. You can get a square nail and then the corners look too, I don't know, like splayed and jagged, or it looks a bit too rounded, or it looks a bit slopey, or it has to still be perfect. So I actually think that a proper nice square is harder to achieve than a coffin or a stiletto, or an almond, maybe. Almonds, Anyway, this e-file bit thing I also have from Amazon, and this is the bit I've chosen to use. I seem to be favouring it a lot, and I'll show you why, because it does a lot of good work. Now, bear in mind, I haven't had this hand on for very long, so this bit did all the prep I needed. I didn't need to do anything else on the regrowth area. It just goes to show, if someone comes in at week 3, for infills, there's a good chance you won't have as much to do. But a lot of people push it, don't they? Week 4, week 5, week 6. Actually, you're doing a rebalance and they've got 6 ton of cuticle and non-living tissue stuck to their nail plate that you're having to scrape off with a JCB. You know what I mean? Sit still, get the chisel. So the prep was really simple. I can't tell you, though, how much I'm enjoying these very short, very elegant. I feel demure. I feel cutesy. Very demure, very cutesy, very mindful. Oh, stop it. So there was a bit more like raggedy on this hand, and also I'm prepping with my non-dominant hand, so my positioning may not be perfect. But what I do is, to make up for that, my pressure is a lot less. So obviously working with my dominant hand, I have a very good handle on what pressure to use and where to place the tool I'm using. With my left hand, it doesn't listen to my brain. It has a mind of its own. So I run the risk of hurting myself with things, especially when I'm using like the 4x coarse carbide bit. I was well proud of myself for using that. I don't know if it's carbide. I don't know why I said carbide. Anyway, perimenopause. Who am I? Where do I come from? I don't know. So I haven't taken my lion's mane today. Can you tell? So I just go gentle with the prep. This is the e-file mandrel bit and 180 grit sanding band. Now, when I'd finished, and I'll show you exactly how much I used this. I used it for a little bit of prep, but I also used it to start removing lifting if I saw any, and refining the shape of the nail that was already there. So I used it a lot on every single nail, and even when I'd finished, it looked like it could go another 10 rounds. Like, it wasn't looking dulled or anything. I still got rid of it because I got 100 of them, right? But it really was like, yeah, give me some more. I will chew your finger up. So it was quite a, like, I don't know what to say. The quality is good. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't human today. I say that in every single video. I give you an excuse for my brain farting. I could have seen a squirrel. I might have heard a noise, and then I don't know what I'm saying. I'm using it to remove a little bit of lifting there. So I'm going behind the lifting, not on it. And then you kind of carve away the area behind the lifting or in front of the lifting, depending on how you're looking at it. And then the lifting will pop off and you'll be left with what's adhered to the nail plate. So if I think there's a little bit here coming up, I think. There, look. I'm going to try and get behind it a little bit, and then it'll pop off when I run the file over it, like that. And now I've done that to both sides. I'm going to dehydrate every single nail, scrub right down in those lateral folds, because you want to get all the dust down the side around, so you kind of want to dig in. Because I've seen a nail tech who actually soaks a brush in, I don't know, maybe a cleanse prep or an IPA solution. They're all much of a muchness. And kind of brushes out the sides. It looked like a really good idea at the same time. So maybe I'd do that. I don't know. I don't think I've got a brush for it. So my gel brush is a G1 from Lucente, and the product I'm using is from Desire Nails, which used to be Nail Perfect, and it is the fibre gel, which is a hard gel. File off, cannot be soaked off. I'm just using their primer. It's not an acid primer, but it is just a primer. Universal Air Bond, it's called. So I shall use that on all my nails. And then this is the colour of the hard gel. It's absolutely stunning. I'll do my scrub layer, where I just literally massage the product into the surface of the nail and any previous existing product. And we want it to get into all those ridges where it's been filed. You use a tiny bit and you can literally feel it pulling against the brush, as if you're trying to pull I don't know, a piece of Velcro on something. Like, it's that. Hello, darling, is it raining? The puppy's just come in and he's a bit soggy. Hello, is it raining? Then once that's cured for 1 minute, I will just apply a very thin layer to kind of work as a slip layer, so that when I apply my pearl, now watch what I do with my brush. I hold it upside down, I let the gel move until it creates a nice pearl underneath. Then I'll roll that off my brush and onto the nail. And then I just remain in contact with my brush and the product. And then that's going to flow down. There we go. And I'm just literally infilling the area, giving myself a little bit of an apex. You don't need much because it's a natural length nail. It's not, crazy long. Just needs to be nice and even. I'll pull the product down. I don't need a lot going towards the free edge. And then just make sure that this is real time. I'm using my left hand, so I'm a lot slower, but this is me trying not to F it up. Basically, not rushing. Do you know, sometimes when I'm sat doing nails, if I'm concentrating for too long, my legs start to fizz and I get really hot and agitated. Yeah. And that's when mistakes happen. Just being honest. Welcome to my brain. So I'm just checking from the underside, actually, just to make sure, because I could see I've got funny natural nails. They like to curl in, they like to tighten their own C-curve and pull away from product. So I was just checking that. Right, there we go. That's been cured. And then I'll just remove the tacky layer so I don't get any fluff in there. And then we'll get on with the rest of them. Very natural look. To be fair, You could, if you wanted a more natural look, you could literally top coat that and be gone. But obviously I wouldn't do that because I want to file it into perfection and then do this, that and the other. But you could, if you've got a nice base shape and it's relatively natural, which means, it's going to have tiny imperfections, that's natural, then yeah, you could totally get away with that, especially with this shade of hard gel. If you want to do the same in acrylic, I would recommend Nailmate Perfect Pink. Yep, it's the same shade in acrylic. It really is, like the shade matches unbelievably close. And you could do the same in acrylic. And if you want me to show you a natural acrylic look, let me know. People always, I don't know, there's this thing about acrylic, especially as hard gels become trendy, which I find bonkers because it's been around for donkey's years. I trained in hard gel like donkey's years ago. But anyway, I feel like acrylic sometimes gets a bad rap, and that's because of non-standard salons giving it a bad rap. But you can create beautiful designs that are very, very natural. You can do this exactly the same. Whatever you do with one, you can do with the other. In fact, it's probably easier with acrylic. So if anyone's ever got any, questions, or they kind of go, well, can you do that? Is that doable? Well, let's have a go then. Let's try it. You don't know till you try, right? I made a fundamental mistake in this set, and I will point it out to you when it happens because, as you know, I'll keep it real. So I think it's important. I missed a step. It won't affect the nails. It just annoyed me. Again, check in, literally teeny little adjustments, and then I will tip my hand upside down for 10 seconds, and then in the lamp she goes. And then I've removed the sticky layer from that. And then we'll do the same on all of the nails. So what week are we in? This is Halloween this week, isn't it? And it's my son's birthday. My middle son. It's his birthday. He's just got a new motorbike as well. Which purrs like a kitty cat. It's like, brrr. Oh, it's beautiful. I don't like watching him on it. I love motorbikes, but I despise watching my son go to work on his. It makes my skin... He had an accident last year and ended up with his surgery on his leg and all sorts, and it wasn't his fault either. But do you think the insurance have come to a conclusion yet? No. Of course they haven't. Because Mr. Policeman didn't do a proper report. Sorry, I shouldn't moan, I'm just venting. But anyway, I don't like seeing him on it, but I love motorbikes. And I will take him to the bike shop and I will make sure, help him choose his safety gear. He's got all his safety gear and stuff. And help him choose bikes and whatever. But I will not watch him on it because it makes my skin go funny. I'm like, ah. It's funny, isn't it? Anyway. It's his birthday the day before Halloween. So, happy birthday, Jordan. And then I forgot what I was going to say after that. I've forgotten. Then we're into November. That's what I was going to say. Which, obviously, how soon do I have your permission for Christmas nails? I feel like I should be doing Christmas nails as soon as Halloween's over, because then if it's inspirational, then somebody might go, oh, I'll do that for a client. So not that I find myself inspirational, I find myself more annoying, sort of like an itch you can't scratch. And I'm pretty sure my husband would agree. Right, here I am doing a scrubby layer on all these nails. Just do it all in one and then get them in the lamp for a 60-second cure. And then I will do the same here. Obviously, there's really not much to infill. It's a teeny pearl. It's a little infill. But at least then they're all at the same stage. So when they need an infill, they'll all be at the same stage again. But as you can see, this is quite a nice soft sheen natural look. If you didn't want to, you wouldn't even have to top coat because they sort of have a sheen to them. Very, very classy. Do enjoy this colour a lot. I sort of don't know what else to say apart from look at what I'm doing. Isn't it nice? I'm going to let you listen to some music. So I'm now going to file them into shape using the 180 grit side of my Canva Light file, and just refine it even more. If you hear Jordan's motorbike in a minute, I apologise, but he's going to work. So yeah, I'm literally just going to refine it a bit, and then I thought, I'll only go over it with the buffing block and it'll be fine. But again, me being me, I'm like, no, I just want to thin this out. I just want to smooth that round. So I ended up finish filing everything, and then buffing it over with a buffing block. And that is actually where I made my fatal error. Well, it's not a fatal error because nobody knows, but I know. So I filed, I buffed, and I knew I was going to do French on 2 nails of each hand, right? So I should have put a base down for the gel polish to stick to, so that when I'm drawing the finer lines, it doesn't get stuck into the little undulations caused by the file. But it didn't, did I? So I ended up doing the French just over a bare nail. I should have used Velvet Matte top coat. If you put down Velvet Matte top coat when you're going to do anything other than a full nail of colour, then you will find that the pigment is even stronger and it just sits better and it's easier to do. So I actually struggled a bit with the French because it was bleeding a little bit, and that is just because the base is not correct. Like I'm painting onto a surface that's essentially got lots of little scratches in it, so it's going to bleed out. You don't notice it when you do a full nail. It just doesn't really make a difference. But if you're trying to do work like detail work, you need a surface that's either been buffed and then almost like all the little scratches have been buffed out again, so you'd have to go down in grit or up in grit, essentially, like a 240. Or you just put a matte top coat on as a base. And that's what I normally do. I just forgot. But what that does is it grabs hold of whatever you're putting down and it just holds it in place. Oh, can you hear his bike? You might have heard that in the distance. I don't know if you did. Doesn't it sound like a big purring cat? So yeah, here's me like, oh no, I thought I'd just buff them and now I'm not happy and I'm going to finish file and then buff again. Yeah, that's what I did. Typical. But I'm glad I did because they do look nice. I'm happy with the way they turned out. I've got an eyelash in my eye now. What is going on? Ugh. I hate that feeling, don't you? Nothing worse than an eyelash in your eye when you're trying to concentrate. So I am going around the cuticle area. I'm just like, because these were thicker nails before, and that's probably where the apex was sitting, I'm just thinning out a little bit because I just felt like it was chunky at the tip. Bit too chunky for me. Chunky monkey. And now I'm buffing again. See what I mean? I made a lot more work for myself by being indecisive. So I'm going to go wash my hands just with some water and just use some toweling to dry them. And here's what we're left with. Now, they look lovely like that. They look very natural. This is the colour I'm using. It is from the Gel Potion collection, which is MadamGlam's October collection. Midnight Hour, it's called. And it is the trend colour for this season. A deep, dark, like burgundy. Stunning colour. I mean, would you look at the coverage on that? Oh, it's beautiful. Now, with burgundies, same as blacks and reds and blues are very good at this as well. They will stain, so leave a bit of a gap. That's what I do. I mean, if you're amazingly steady-handed, don't leave a gap. Go for it. Balls to the wall and all that. But I'm not amazingly steady-handed. And I also, when I concentrate, my eyeballs shake. Does anybody know what that is? When I'm focusing and concentrating, my eyeballs go and then I have to refocus. I do wear glasses and no, they're not the right prescription because I keep forgetting to go and order my other ones. I had to leave early. I was in 2 hours for an eye appointment. 2 hours because they discovered that I had optic disc druise. Now, I love crystals, so I was like, oh, druzy crystals, yes. But it's something on my optic disc that is like crystallizing. Joy. Anyway, yeah, so I never got my glasses, and I still haven't gone back because that would mean going into town, and town means annoying people, and I try to avoid it. And people. So, anyway, that's had 2 coats. Look at that. Stunning, isn't it? And then we'll go in with the top coat. I will always top coat my thumbs first because I'm doing my other fingers, I'll forget, and then I will, get stuff on them. However, I have noticed with MadamGlam's new formula, don't know if anyone else has noticed this, the gel polish itself doesn't have a very sticky inhibition layer. It's not there. Like it used to, when it was a 30-second cure gel, have a more sticky layer. And now it's a 1-minute cure gel. There is not that stickiness. So that's interesting and quite useful. Okay, so I'm doing the same on the index. We're doing a full nail. As you can see, trying not to go too close with the big brush. I have very, very small nails. Like, oh, look, it dripped on my hand. I had to keep that in because that's real life. Let me get that all off with some isopropyl alcohol. Luckily, it's HEMA-free. It's free of all the nasties, so I'm not going to come out in big blisters and my hand's not going to fall off, but nevertheless it shouldn't be there, so we'll take it away. Get my little detailer brush and sweep it around, and the same on this side. You've got to be careful, like even if you do your detailer brush but then accidentally angle your finger up, it'll flood if you get it close like this, but you just keep your eye on it. It'll be okay. Cap the edge. There we go. And then she'll go in the lamp for 1 minute. In she goes. And then we'll do the second layer. And guess what I did again? Guess what I did? Are you ready? Blob. I didn't realise the gel polish was gathering on the underside of the brush because that would have involved me paying attention. Okay, now here's the nail, these 2 middle nails. I did a French and it applies still really well. The pigment's still really good, but when you're looking at it very closely, you can see it start to bleed. So then you're like, oh, I'll just move the smile line in a bit, or I'll just move it in a bit. Now, obviously, the only reason for that is that it's on a freshly filed nail. So if you apply either a base, or for me, I work really well on a velvet matte, you will never have this problem. It will happen with any product you use, unless you use a thicker paint, like a gel, an art gel or gel paint. So it's not a brand specific issue. It is nails, plural, in general. Like, that's just the way of the world. It doesn't bother some people, but it bothers me. So I'd rather have a base down, and I'd rather that base be MadamGlam's Velvet Matte top coat. And then it just makes the nail as smooth as a baby's bum, but nice and like ready to grab onto pigment. And I like that. Don't know why I didn't do it. I think it's because I was undecided as to what to do. Anyway, I got frustrated, so I put a bit of isopropyl alcohol on my application brush and then started trying to tidy it up, which inevitably kind of smudged it more because it's such a deep burgundy colour. I should have just removed it and put the Velvet Matte top coat down, but I didn't think of that, did I? Because that would involve activating that thing called a brain. So what I did was persevere and do that on another 3 more nails. Aha! The same way. It's wonderful. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know what you're thinking. Yes, I am mad. So yeah, I just went and reapplied it. There you go. Such is life. So when I'm happy with it, it does get a 1 minute cure. And then I did the same. See, here? I didn't want to show you again and again and again because it would get very boring. But that's basically what I did. That's all I did. That's it. That is the design. Now I'm top coating. The main amount of work in this set was preparing the nails to get them that lovely shape and that nice smooth application. That was kind of like the main objective of this video. Main objective? Yeah. Purpose? I don't know. Which word's better? was to show the process of taking what was, messed up design, half cut down, whatever, and recycling it, I suppose you would say. And you can't notice any problem with the French. There is no problem with the French. I just don't like to apply it that way. It annoys me. I'd rather do it the right way, which I didn't for some reason. I'll have to leave sticky notes everywhere to remind me on how to do things, because obviously I just can't anymore. I'm like, I don't know. I do not know. Isn't this top coat amazing? It's so shiny. This is obviously MadamGlam's no wipe top coat, but it stays glossy until you change your nails. Let me do a final shot for you on my fireplace because it's all pumpkin-y and cute. Look, there's a little fireplace. There you go. How autumnal does that feel? The spiders are not real. They're part of the thing. And then I got Oliver to hold the camera for me so I could do both hands. So my little cameraman. Look at me, classy nails. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.